Rosalind Franklin was a female scientist who was born in 1920 in England and lived till 1958, but she did travel the world a lot throughout her life. Her focus area was that she researched a lot of different x-rays and interpreted a lot of unknown facts about x-rays that were never found until she interpreted them. So she should have been credited with the invention of x-rays, but wasn't because she died too early for them to award her that. So these are just some photos that I found on Google Images, and they are just pictures of her so you can kind of get a glimpse of what she used to look like. This one right here in the middle is a picture of her on one of the magazines back then, just to show you kind of how popular she was in her time period. So, just to kind of get a glimpse of what her life was kind of like and some of the major highlights in her life, first of all, she did go all the way through school and went to college. She started at King's College and ended up leaving there and not finishing her college career in March of 1953 to relocate to Birkbeck College, where she studied structure of tobacco, mosaic virus, and the structure of RNA. So she already had a good track record at a young age. In 5 years, Franklin published 17 papers on viruses, and her group laid the foundations for structural virology. Third, her photographs were among the most beautiful X-ray photographs of any substance ever taken, which goes to show that she should have been credited with the invention of X-rays. Also, she helped create the X-ray crystallography with some other scientists, and she discovered the physical basis of genetic heredity. For her explanation, she was a very famous individual of her time, and she was the woman that should have been credited with the discovery of physical basis of genetic heredity. She also was the person who examined many different types of X-rays when they first came out, and she examined them successfully. She was also one of the first people to come up with this idea of X-rays on people to help cure them. Of course, at the beginning of the process, there was some issues with them, but she traveled to many different places and kept working at it until she got them to be successful. Soon after this, she passed away and unfortunately wasn't granted the Nobel Prize of inventing them, but many people are aware of her accomplishments. She was an amazing woman and came up with a lot of cool things as a scientist. And just right here by these 5 highlights, it goes to show that she was really important in her time and really should have been credited the Nobel Prize for it. But many people are aware of all of her accomplishments, so even though she didn't get it, many people would agree with me that she should have earned that. To end off my presentation, I just have a page with the sources that I used. I don't have very many, but these websites were very useful and they gave me a lot of good info about her.